Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh, Baha Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Baha Hashem, Baha Kadash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my Heavenly Big Brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honors to your apostles and elders and bishops of GMS, great millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching this truth and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. Trying to put a spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called black Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and your speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? That be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations, like for example, a Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called white person, or so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. Got some videos lined up about Cells-Amalek. Gonna play these videos. I'm gonna get into the scripture my best ability. Say whatever God say through spirit and power, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, the Holy Spirit, the Krahak Kadash. Lord willing be on me. Let's get
it. The proposal to have a merging of some sort between our Pentagon and your military?
Yeah, I'm calling it from aid to partnerships. We co-invest in equal measures in the new technologies that are needed to give our military and your military the advantage. Working in American intelligence, what Israel was giving the United States was worth, he said, 5 CIAs. I'm not trying to be mathematically exact, but Israel's contributions to America's defense are important. Our technology is incredible. And since yours is incredible too, and you're the great being of liberty and free markets, I think the meshing of our two great countries of talent would strengthen America's position, competitive position, both in the economic marketplace and in the military battlefield in many important ways. So that's the idea.
Are you awake yet? How long did it take you to realize that we're in trouble in the United States? That we have all of these people who have done these things to totally destroy our country? How long did it take for you to realize that what people...
Well, hold on. I gotta stop and say, are you awake, lady? You as a so-called black woman, biblically known as a Hebrew Israelite, you shouldn't give a fuck about this country. You should be like saying, fuck this country and those gutter rats that's claiming to be us, that's in our land. Fuck them niggas. Fuck all this shit. Fuck the military, and all you Israelites that's in the military need to get out that motherfucker. But anyway, I just want to say that. And she talking about some our country. I'm like, man, fuck this damn country. Fuck these devils already telling you how they feel about you. Fuck these niggas.
Like me have been telling you for the last 10 or 15 years that it's really true. And now we're right in the middle of it. Make sure that you hear all of this and then comment on it. And follow me on my website. Thank you.
Well, Prime Minister, will that drawing down of foreign aid from the United States to Israel be compensated by the proposal to have a merging of some sort between our Pentagon and your military?
Yeah, I'm calling it from aid to partnership. So we take away the money that is given to Israel, which is one part. But the other part is we co-invest in equal measures in the new technologies that are needed to give our military and your military the advantage. So there are some unbelievable projects. So we invest jointly and take the fruits equally. You move from aid to partnership, and I think that represents what Israel is. And remember, the other thing is that we share with America unbelievable intelligence to save American life. General
yeah.
Keegan has said that when he was working in American intelligence, what Israel was giving the United States was worth, he said, 5 CIAs. I'm not trying to be mathematically exact, but Israel's contributions to America's defense are important. Our technology is incredible. And since yours is incredible too, and you're the great champion of liberty and free markets, I think the meshing of our two great countries of talent would strengthen America's position, competitive position, both in the economic marketplace and in the military battlefield in many important ways. So that's the idea. The idea is to take away aid, one-sided aid, and move it into bilateral investments for.
Well, it certainly brings up some issues of sovereignty, but we'll have to work that out later. Thank you so much, Prime Minister. We appreciate you joining us.
Devil, please.
Good day, this is Dimitri Lascaris coming to you from Montreal, Canada on July 14th, 2026 for Reason to Resist. Today we are very pleased and frankly relieved to be joined again by our dear friend and legendary woman of resistance, in my view, Rehab Nazal, and I'm sure that many other people who support the Palestinian cause share that view.
at Dar al-Kalima University in Middle to work on film. Hopefully by the end of next month, it will be ready. It's about...
The main subject of our discussion today is going to be an absolutely abominable recounting, which Rahab is going to offer us of the torment that a Palestinian refugee family from the occupied West Bank has endured for years. It's a story that has not received anywhere near the kind of coverage that it deserves. And so we're going to get down into the appalling details of that story. But before we do that, Rahab, I would first of all want to just remind our audience, if you find this video to be informative, please like and share it. If you're not already a subscriber to Reason to Resist, please become one and help us to expand the reach of unapologetic, on-the-ground resistance journalism. And with that, Rahab, could you just take a few minutes and generally describe to us, before we get into the experience of this family, what life was like for you during the prior several months when you were in the occupied West Bank and before you came to Canada?
The situation in the West Bank is devastating, the least to say. I've been saying this since October 2023, that while the attention is focused on Gaza, the Israelis are inflicting horrors on the Palestinians in the West Bank, confiscating land, creating more colonies and colonies posts, arming settlers, and settlers' violence unprecedented that we're enduring. The people, the land, the animals, anything they attack. They steal livestock from the herding community. They displaced over 25 communities. They destroyed 3 refugee camps in northern West Bank. The gates, you have entire towns and villages just gated with metal gates, over 1,000 checkpoints that strangles the Palestinians movement, students, farmers. It's horrific, simply. And Israel would not be able to do this if it was held accountable for its continuous crimes, including the ongoing genocide in Gaza. They're doing what they're doing in the West Bank with complete impunity. Jenin, and you visited Jenin. Jenin had no colonies when you visited. After they destroyed the refugee camp, exhausted the city of Jenin and the surrounding villages, and I'm talking about 30 villages around Jenin, daily raids almost. They assassinated resistance fighters, and in complicity with the PA as well. Now, after they killed the resistance fighters or imprisoned them, now they are building colonies, confiscating land, destroying hundreds and hundreds of dunams of land that's planted with olive trees. So the situation even in the north is horrific, and in the south, in Al Khalil, Hebron, also it's horrific there. The herding community, the Bedouins, the city itself, the mosque inside the city is being.
Alright, I ain't gonna play no more of this, but I'm just curious about what are they talking about, because of the title. What does it say? So anyway, I got more videos to get into. But let me get the description. That's not what I want. Was it Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2? When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear food, the people mourn. Yeah, you see them Allah Abba folks being tormented and tortured by them folks, them small head niggas. Let's get to the next one. You know, it's so. I know this ain't got nothing to do with the topic. I'm looking on here about. I don't know. I just stumbled across some shit on Amazon. I'm looking on my phone and they showing daggone Blu-ray players costing the same amount as it was when they were brand freaking new. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, how the hell all this shit costs? I guess everybody going back to the physical. Yeah, everybody's going back to that physical shit. Like, especially cassettes and DVDs and Blu-rays. Because they want some kind of ownership. Yeah, because the time we in, everything gonna be digitized. But anyway, let's get back on the topic.
here are some. Here are pro-Palestinian Israelis, or I believe they're Israelis, but they're pro-Palestinian Jews confronting pro-Israel Jews.
Gaza are refugees who were robbed and
Oh, yeah, the division, the division of Amalek.
expelled by Zionist, European Zionist militias.
You hate Israel? And you hate Israel?
The whole world hates Israel.
Look at that.
But on the whole world hates Amalek. You're not Israel. You're Amalek. Y'all dwell in the land that's called Israel. Doesn't make y'all Israel. Makes y'all Israelis, but not Israelites. Definitely not Israel. Now you gonna have Israelites that's amongst the heathen that ain't look like her ass. The first chick.
By Zionist, European Zionist militias.
Her ass. She like she probably high.
You hate Israel? And you hate Israel?
The whole world hates Israel.
Look at that.
You know, the whole world hates Amalek, and the Lord hates Amalek too.
Israel becomes world's most disliked country, global survey finds.
And you guys
And why? Because the Lord is making it happen.
realize who they took over was us.
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Huh? What did she say? They took over. What the fuck you say, bitch?
Israel becomes world's most disliked country, global survey finds.
And you guys realize who they took over was us.
Probably.
Oh yeah. I don't even need to. If you go anywhere in the world and ask which country is the biggest threat to world peace, yeah, now Israel's giving us a run for the money. But normally, up until the past few years, they would have said us.
For sure.
I don't know what she talking about. Who is us?
The world hates Israel.
You must be a Zionist.
I guess she talking about the good Jews.
You're bothered by us being here, aren't you?
I'm not bothered by you being here, but I am. I'm asking you a question. I asked you what genocide in
Have you been living
Gaza.
under?
What genocide in Gaza? Oh my God, I want to punch her in her.
That's like typical Edomite shit. Oh yeah, that one brother video. I listened to the video. I was cutting grass. I would have been still out there cutting grass, but I had to head my butt on back home because it was thundering and storming. It didn't rain on me yet. It's storming over here now. I have to go back and do that, yo. Where that shit at? Not shit, but where that video at? Here you go, right here. What is GMS? Garbar Aura War. Inside the mind of the devil. I should leave a comment and say the worst place to be in the mind of a Edomite. But you gotta check that video out, cause this nigga is a fucking devil, and you got this Allah's. I don't know who the fuck this nigga name is, but he a dumbass. Why are you interviewing and debating with these fucking devils? It makes no goddamn sense, nigga. You know what you gonna get. Some smart ass remark from this fucking devil, cause he think he can just get away with shit. Yeah, but anyway, matter of fact, I'm gonna leave a comment. Guys, I always say this comment. When it comes to a devil, when it comes to an Edomite, oh, and I just realized the video it ended at 14:43. I ain't finished with the video yet, but all praise Yabba Shema Shah, the body Yabba Shema Shah, 144. But when you and look at this shit, who the fuck is this nigga? Who is this weirdo? Who is this weirdo? And this, I forgot who these, Sakari or some shit, I don't know. But I'm like, bro, why are you fucking dealing with these damn devils? And they all eating Burger King and shit, probably eating goddamn human meat. And it's the smart ass that gonna say some smart ass shit. But anyway, why are you dealing with these damn devils? Oh yeah, I always say this, it's always been like, I don't know where I heard this from, but it said the most dangerous place is in the mind of a so-called white person. But now it doesn't say like so-called, but the mind of a white person. But I say it like this, the right way to call them, instead of white, be an Edomite. The most dangerous place is being the mind of an Edomite. Shit, because these niggas could think of all kind of shit to do to your ass. They just conjure up all kind of crazy ass thoughts. Either want to rape you, eat you, or just kill you and then rape you and eat you. Ain't no telling. They'll rape you if you're dead. They play fun with your body and shit. And then they'll eat you. And then play with their food. And probably have sex with their food. And that be you. All kind of weird shit. Anyway, I don't want to go too far on what these niggas be doing. Anyway, let's get back to this monkey ass bitch.
Bad nose job.
You said that. I didn't say that.
Girlfriend,
again,
I recognize a rhinoplasty. Okay? I grew up in North Miami Beach. I could tell a rhinoplasty a mile away. Hers is
And
not that
again,
good.
not to ever be outdone, these women, well, it could be men too, but obviously we know with the Israelis, especially the Zios, the women tend to be the loudest. And it is clear that she is not struggling to live. Has her hair done up nice outfit. Of course,
It soon will be.
this is a class issue. We've been saying this from the beginning. Part of the reason
Yeah, she not struggling to live because she getting all that welfare money from you taxpayers of America.
why they don't really care the effects that it
And Europe too, or parts of Europe.
has on
I'm
everyday.
pretty sure some European countries paying them niggas money and shit.
Jewish people.
Henry, I'll double down and say not only did she have a rhinoplasty, but she
Man,
had
who gives a fuck, bitch? Goddamn.
Refugees who were robbed and displaced and expelled from their homes in what is now Israel into the concentration camp that's called Gaza. The right of return is enshrined in
She's
international
asking,
law.
this bitch is asking,
well as-
were you there? See, now, what I would say to her is, well, were you at the Holocaust? But you know that happened.
Yeah.
What kind of
this is-
stupid thing is that to say, were you there?
Well, this is the same argument that I made on Saturday regarding Maya. No, have you been? And it's the same argument I made on Saturday regarding Maya Bialik when she goes after Roger Waters. I said, I am sure that Roger Waters was not in Gaza on October 7th, and I'm also sure that Maya Bialik was not there either. So,
Unfortunately.
well, that's a whole other story. We'll finish it up.
Exactly.
Dismiss the Arabic countries that will take them back, but they need to go back to their homes. They were robbed by the Zionist militia.
There's no flight to hell. Did you know
The
that?
whole world hates Israel. The whole world hates Israel.
No, the whole world hates Amalek, not Israel. Amalek is their name, or Amalekites is their names, or nation. Anyway, or just hate Esau. Everybody hates Esau. Even Esau hates Esau. And as you can see, there's a fucking division among. I don't know the people that's confronting these Amalekites. They could be Edomites too. Most likely, I'm guessing they are.
Okay, do you hate Israel?
Of course I hate Israel.
Why do you hate Israel?
Because they're rats
Just read,
and they're imposters.
Oh, let me count the ways, lady.
Jen, just read this headline right here.
Israeli army broadcasts baby cries. Oh yeah, and women screaming to lure and kill Palestinians in Gaza. Right? Yeah, that's old. And for people who didn't know that, they absolutely do that. The IOF will play sounds of infants crying to lure people to kill them. And
Oh yeah, what else the IDF are doing? They making bombs. That's nothing new. But they'll make like little toys. They'll have toys rigged with bombs, explosives. Let me see. You know, if I look this up, they gonna say something like, that's not true. Is the IDF military rigging toys as bombs? I shouldn't have just said explosive. Allegations that the IDF intentionally booby-trapped toys with explosives have surfaced during conflicts with Libya and Gaza, and the IDF has consistently denied these claims. Pretty much, yes, they've been doing this shit. There's that Israelis' history of using toy-like bombs in damn niggers.
And by the way, that's not new. They've been doing that. This ain't their first rodeo.
Nope.
Oh yeah, they even do canned foods. Of people who are hungry, starving. You might have a little child just walking around. They find a can of noodles or a can of, I don't know, a can of black beans or some shit, some pinto beans, and he or she picked them can up and boom. Now they be shit. Now they can't eat no beans. There wasn't no beans in the first place. It was a bum. Shit. That's what these devils do. Booby trap shit. Esau's a motherfucker, bro.
Been doing that shit all over the place.
You have to. It's a prerequisite to being a decent human being.
I'm not angry. And if you want to go toe to toe with me,
Oh no, I want to.
Go to toe with her. Man, shut your Jew ass down. Well, fake ass Jew ass down.
Go toe to toe with you, bitch.
Let's get to the next video. Yeah, what they gonna, what toe to toe? What you gonna do? Freeze his bank account? That's what the bitch gonna do. Freeze his bank account. What else gonna do? Smear you on the internet and on the mainstream media saying you anti-Semitic?
To Leo. at that. Oh, and then he goes for the pocket.
Oh, he's picking the man's pocket. It's jujitsu. Oh, shit. Oh, he taped the small hats and he got rope. Oh, these what they call them niggas? Them mixed martial art fighting folks. Oh, he's making fun of those people. How dare he? Those some big ass dookie braids.
He got the cash. There you go.
Yeah, and then he balled his hands up like
Jiu-jitsu, the hand rubbing intensifies.
yeah, the hand rubbing action.
Yes. Very good, very good. Don't forget to tap the notice button. So imagine this, you're sitting in your living room on land your ancestors have lived on for thousands of years.
No. I don't know why these people keep saying that these people are not the people. They're all heathens. I don't give a fuck. They are victims right now, but they getting their judgment. But a lot of those folks are not the people either. They wasn't living on their land thousand years. You so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Indians, pretty much you Hebrew Israelites, speckled birds, you Hebrew Israelites was living on that land. And shit. Well, we got taken out of that land because we fell out from our power. It's punishment. But now these other heathens living on that land.
And suddenly,
all they doing is fighting with one another.
An armed settler from Eastern Europe or Brooklyn knocks on your door and tells you to evacuate your home immediately. His excuse, get this, my God, promise.
Oh yeah, that's happened. Oh yeah. In America, they taking people land, especially elderly people. And you Jays. Yeah, they got a deed, some kind of I don't know, but this bitch named Kathy Hokum is getting at the bottom of it. I'm like, get the fuck out. That bitch ain't about to do shit.
To me, your land 3,000 years ago. And if you resist, the atheist liberals of the West call you a terrorist because his God promised him your home.
And it's funny how they keep saying that shit, that our God promised us this land 3,000 years ago, but they don't even believe in a God. I mean, they do believe in a God. His name is Satan. They don't believe in the Most High God, which his name is Yahweh. But if they was like these dumbass, I mean, if they just say God, like these dumbass Christians be saying, they don't believe in that. They'll say there's a God that they gave a land to them, but that they don't believe in. Ain't that something? But anyway.
So you just sit with your family out in the open watching the armed settlers demolish your home.
Oh.
Here's a video from today in the occupied West Bank. No politic here. No politic. It's mine. No, it's mine. I need this. God said so.
Yeah, man, these devils do, man. It's just like what you blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Indians been happen to us. Especially you blacks. That's daggone documented, well documented. These crackers come in and take your home. You like, God damn, they got some nice shit. They gonna take all your shit, your furniture, your clothes, your food out your refrigerator, and burn your house down, nigga. And that's it. They gonna take all your shit and burn your house down. And what you gonna do about it? Nothing. That's the shit we have to deal with. That's the shit we had to deal with, and we still gonna be dealing with it. We still dealing with it now. Shit, very little, cause you know Jake ain't tolerating that fucking shit. But anyway. But that's what's going on. That's what's been going on with us because of these damn devils. See, that's what happened when the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. Or when the wicked bear fruit, the people more hear the women. They crying and shit. They speaking their language. Yeah, they crying, man. This one never happened. You had righteous ruling the world. Instead, you got a bunch of fucking wicked niggers ruling the world. They wear small hats. And others call themselves wide.
Look at that. They're just fucking excavating people's homes.
Yep. And it's Gemini! Come on, man. What the fuck? And another ad.
Losing weight with a GLP-1? It's as easy as riding with training wheels.
Hey, Rebel, slice of pepperoni?
Sorry.
Despicable. See, Lindsey Graham's sister was sworn into office yesterday, and shortly afterward was one of the 50 GOP senators to vote to integrate the U.S. military with Israel's military.
Oh, shit.
military. So we're just
like I'm saying, they just placed her in. Like saying the show still must go on. One devil dead here in the hell. They don't. One monkey don't stop no show. Shit. One Edomite monkey don't stop no show.
business as usual here. This officially makes her the fastest senator in history to betray her country.
They got a new monkey in there to replace his punk ass.
So, the United States has bombed a children's cancer center earlier.
Oh, first number I see down here, 441. I don't even know what the hell this symbol means. I'm not familiar with X, but all praise Yahweh Shema Shah, the Wadi Yahweh Shema Shah.
Today, and that was not enough. The USA is now bombing residential areas in Abbats in Iran. Will Americans do anything at all, or will you let the blood of innocent children continue to be shed?
Yes, man, they're gonna be shedding a lot of the innocent blood over here in America. I want to say really innocent, because whoever perished being innocent. But, you know, I mean, shit. What is a child, or what anybody could stand a chance against a fucking bomb? A bomb being dropped on your ass. You don't see it coming. I mean, yeah. But anyway, man, this happens when, like I said, this is what's going on and what's happening when the world is given to wicked-ass men. Yep. Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them who devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice because it is in the power of their hand. They cover fields and take them by violence and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man's heritage. Yep. Nothing new about that, man. Especially when you Israelites. You know, I'll just what's the game called? Assassin's Creed Shadows. They made such a big deal about that game being a transgender. I thought the whole game was like you playing as a gay character, and then the character's a Jake, and you know all that shit. You got the option to choose from that type of shit. And it's funny they made it such a big deal about that game, but they had games before that. I believe they say they had games before that game where you had that same option. I'm like, why y'all niggas didn't make no big deal about the beginning of choosing what kind of sexuality or how the storyline will play? Like say if you choose a male character and you want to choose a bromance mode, like homo mode, then they'll switch into homo mode. They don't talk about them old games. They were making it seem like the whole game of Assassin's Creed Shadow being that. The only reason I'm bringing that up because I'm downloading that shit. I was just curious about how that game is. Because they had that Black Samurai, so-called Black Samurai. But they made a big deal. You know what they really made a big deal about? The so-called Black Samurai. And there's history about that shit. It's not in like no fucking cartoons and movies. Hell, you got Black Samurai or so-called Black Samurais back in the times of Ammon. Back in the times of Ammon was in Japan, or being in Japan, or whatever. Hell, Amalek was in Japan. They got a fucking mask. They call him, he like considered to be a demon. You know, that red mask with that nigga would have got a big ass long nose. And they consider that nigga a demon. They got a mask based on that nigga called the Tengu, something like that. Anyway, that's Amalek. Anyway, you want to watch the rest of this video, they go to the title, they go to channel. I'm just talking about all kind of other stuff. They ain't got nothing to do with this topic. But it just stuff, that's how I am, man. That's how I am. I'll drift off one direction, then I'll come back on track.
A ship is not measured by its ropes and timber.
I'm loyal to this crew.
Good day, this is Dimitri Lascaris coming to you from Montreal, Canada for Reason to Resist.
I didn't know I had another video coming from this same channel. Might as well damn subscribe to the channel.
On July 17th, 2026. In recent months, Israel has been rocked by a massive ritual child sexual abuse scandal.
Yeah, Amalek, man. Goddamn. On that freaky shit with them chilling.
Scandal involves the ritual sexual abuse and torture of children as young as 3 years. Victims were...
Yeah, and the Talmud. And the Talmud talks about that shit, about them baby being. That's their arranged marriage. Hey, let's get it. Let's get it. like poking a finger in the eye of the Talmud. Hold on. Yeah. Oh. Here we go. Where is it at? I think it's it. Rava said that this is what the Mishnah is saying. An adult man who engaged in intercourse with a minor girl less than, not just 3 years old, but less than 3 years old, has done nothing. Done nothing, as intercourse with a girl less than 3 years old is tantamount to poking a finger into the eye. So pretty much it's saying that having a grown man having sex with a child that's less than 3 years old is like poking a finger in the eye. It's tight. This is what they do. This is what these so-called Jews do. This is what these niggers do. And they got it here in their Talmud. This ain't in the Torah. This is right here. All in this shit. And there's some other stuff. And how they talk about you Christians precious Jeebus. How about Jeebus is bathing excrements. He's bathing in doo-doo and semen. Yeah. That's what they see your Lord and Savior as. Somebody who's dead, bathing in doo-doo and semen. He taking a cum bath. Damn. Shit.
Used and tormented.
That's what they believe in.
Many of these cases by members of their own family. And up
it's happening to their own people.
On the screen, I'm showing you the headline from an article published in May of this year by the investigative news outlet Shomadim, the Center for Media and Democracy in Israel. According to Inbal Brenner, who was quoted in this article, and he is the chairperson of the Israeli Society for Sexual Trauma Treatment and Prevention, the perpetrators of these heinous crimes, quote, in quite a few cases were high-status community members. They either held respected religious or spiritual authority like a rabbi or occupied other influential prominent positions. And elsewhere in this article, another mental health expert in Israel is quoted as saying that at least one of the perpetrators was a judge and numerous of them were doctors. I repeat, medical doctors. Now, if your only source of information about world events was the Western corporate media, then almost certainly you would know nothing about this scandal because the Western corporate media predictably have avoided the scandal like the plague. One of the few Western journalists, or at least someone who originally hails from the West, who has covered this astonishing scandal, is joining us here today, and she's none other than a wonderful independent journalist, Vanessa Beeley, who is coming to us today from Beirut, Lebanon. Vanessa, I've long been an admirer of your work. I know many people in our audience have as well. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first time we've had you on this program, or were you on once before?
And it's on ritual child abuse. Yeah, I mean, it ain't just like sexual. It's also they kill their own children out of sacrificing and shit to whatever god they worship, which the only one they worship is Satan. Shit, who they ignorantly call Lucifer. But Lucifer ain't Satan. Satan just go by the name of Satan. Spiritual counterpart Satan, or spiritual Satan goes by just Satan, not by no Lucifer. Lucifer can go by for anybody who's a light bearer. That's what it means, light bearer. That's all it means, light bearer. Anybody can be known as Lucifer. Hell, the real Luciferians be the men of the Lord who have the truth. The men of Yahweh Shema Shah who have the truth. But anyway, that go over people's heads. But anyway.
No, I think it is the first time. I know that we were on together on our dear friend Betbeat with Kerry, but no, it's the first time I've been on. So thank you. Sadly, I'm coming on for a very dark and sinister topic.
Indeed, and it is not, I want to alert our audience, the only topic we're going to cover today. Vanessa has also a wealth of knowledge about Syria. I'm going to ask her in the second half of this interview about some important recent developments in Syria, particularly as it pertains to the war of aggression on Iran. But first, let's turn to this really sordid story. And I want to caution people in advance that you may hear things that will be very disturbing, but we think it's important that the breadth and horror of this scandal be exposed, particularly to Western audiences who know so little about it. So before we begin, I just want to remind people, Vanessa, if they find this video to be informative,
And
please.
another thing that they do, shit, they call them baby dick suckers for a reason. Cause they put their mouths on baby dinglings, part of the circumcision. Yep.
Like, share it, and if you're not already a subscriber to Reason to Resist, we warmly encourage you to become one. Please help us to expand the reach of our on-the-ground, unapologetic resistance journalism. So, because you might find it difficult to believe what we're about to hear, I am going to include in the description to this video a link to that Shomrim investigative report. And in addition, I'm going to provide a link to an article that Vanessa authored, and it's available on her Substack in May of this year.
Alright, I ain't gonna play no more of this. If you wanna watch the rest of it, be my guest. They go to the title of the video, they go to the channel. Yeah, let's get to the next one. Yeah, it's storming.
The apartheid regime, also known as the State of Israel, is getting ready for elections. End of October is going to be the end of...
Jews refuse to IDF draft. And wait a minute, partner. Oh, first, let me get another scripture to read. Because since that last one was talking about these niggas here, pedophile, doing all kind of weird shit with children. Psalm chapter 144, verse 11. Rid me and deliver me from the hand of the strange children whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is the right hand of falsehood. We praying the Lord to get us away from these niggas, man. Put these niggas in chains so all the children be safe, even their own children be safe. But they ass gonna be slaves though. But at least their children be safe from the wickedness of their I say the adults of their people. Anyway, shit. Well, oh yeah, this one right here. Yeah, Jews refuse the IDF draft. Well, where's that in the Bible where they talking about the holy people gonna be drafted into war? Especially World War III. The goodness, great nowhere. What the hell? And there shouldn't be no wars in the first place. Because they say that, hey, all wars will be gone. Matter of fact, let me get to it before I play the rest of the video. Or play whatever I can with the video. Because I ain't going to play this shit like, well, how much is it? 35 minutes? Yeah, I ain't going to play all that. I'll play about maybe 2 or 3 minutes of it. Maybe 5. But Israel, I'm about to say Israel. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4. And he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people. That's talking about Yahweh Shah when he returns. You could be checking these heathens. And they shall beat their swords in the plowshares and their spears in the pruning hooks. But are they doing that now? No. They turn all their weapons of warfare, gardening tools, they turn their gardening tools that's made out of metal into parts of weapons of warfare. Not the opposite. When the Lord returns, which the Lord ain't here, but when the Lord shows up, it's going to be that time for all wars to stop, and going to turn all their metal things that's made out of, their weapons of warfare made out of metal, going to be turned into gardening tools. And let me see where I left off at. And yeah, here we go. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, but they doing that. They taking swords and getting guns and missiles ready for this war. But how come they're doing that if the holy people are in the land? No, because those not the people. Those not the people. Those are not the people. Neither shall they learn war anymore. Yeah, so there shouldn't be no wars. But guess what? There's still wars going on because the earth was given to the hands of wicked, and they are pretending to be the holy people that's spoken of in the Bible, which they're not.
This government's term, and it's really a rarity that a government actually finishes its term and then goes to elections as opposed to ending the term sooner. The one issue that is tearing apart both Israeli society and the members of the Knesset, the House of Representatives, is the issue of drafting the ultra-Orthodox community, or as they're known as the Haredi community. I'm Miko Peled. I'm speaking to you from Palestine House of Freedom. And here's why this is important. The Haredi community, the ultra-Orthodox community, makes up about 14% of what Israel considered its population. So that's almost 3 million people. Right now, there are, depending on who you talk to, somewhere between 50 and 90,000 young men from that community that are eligible for the draft, that are draft age, and they absolutely refuse to serve. Why are they refusing to serve? Why is it so important? There's always been this tension within Israeli society between that community that are considered to be parasites and deserters and people who don't care to carry the burden of protecting and defending the state, and the secular part of the Israeli community, which most of whom serve in the military. After October 7, this became extreme. October 7th in many ways ripped off the scotch tape that held Israeli society together, because it's really made of different groups. It's never been a cohesive
Yeah, they're divided.
society. And this group, the ultra-Orthodox community, has its own education system, its own funding, its own values. And serving in the military is an absolute no.
No, but shit, it's just because them niggas ain't warriors. They a bunch of cowards. Anyway.
Serving in the military is a principle that they will die.
Yeah. They shouldn't be scared to die. They should be fearless. Yeah, they should be some fearless people. They talk that shit like they are. But shit, when the shit gets real, like talking about war, drafting, oh nah, them niggas got pussies in their pants.
Before they agreed to. Their representatives in the Knesset, I believe 18 or so members in the Knesset, they hold the keys to almost any coalition. Typically what they want is funding for their education system. They don't want any interference with their education system, which means...
Which studying the Torah, it means studying the Talmud. And that's all.
Money to the yeshivas. And they want everybody to leave them alone. Now, on top of that, they are obviously pressuring the government not to pass any law that would force them to serve, penalize those who don't serve. And what is happening now quite a lot is because this community is considered deserters, they're being arrested, they're being detained, so you have more protests. The protests are met with enormous violence by the police. Unbelievable violence.
Oh, please. Guess what? The same vibes would be, hey, them towel heads, they're not towel heads, but them niggas, them small heads, they'll conflict some violence on the police and the IDF. They done that before, they shooting each other. Oh yeah.
The only thing they don't do is they don't shoot, kill them.
Yeah.
But they trample on them, they beat them. It's the images are horrifying.
No, I love it. I love it to witness the downfall of my enemies. These fucking niggas. Yeah, these niggas are responsible for all kind of atrocities done to us, plus benefiting off of us when it comes to music, movies, all that shit. We're just being we're being exploited, but Amalek is making money off all that shit. Anyway, it's a whole lot of shit. What the fuck? Where's the rest of the video at?
From Identity.
Okay, there we go.
Crisis.
I thought it was going to a commercial ad. It just went black on me.
Identity theft, and he basically says Zionists stole Jewish identity and are pretending that they're Jews.
Huh? What?
The other is Rabbi David Feldman, who many people know because he shows up to so many protests. He's a prolific speaker, as is, by the way, Rabbi Shapiro. They're both part of the ultra-Orthodox community. Rabbi Feldman is known also because he's part of the Netur Karta group, which are the activists within the community. The community here in the United States stands with their brethren over in Palestine who are refusing to serve, and there have been protests and there have been rallies. Recently there was a rally with tens of thousands where one of the most important rabbis in the United States, the Satmar Rebbe, the rabbi of Satmar, spoke, and he spoke.
Alright, well anyway, this shit don't supposed to be, this just shows you more that these people are not the people. They're not the divine people. They're not the people of God. Yeah, they're not the people of God. And they're divided. Let me get this. Mark chapter 3, verse 23. And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. These people are divided. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Now, thousands of pro-Palestinian demonstrators plan to converge in London, urging Andy Burnham, the incoming Prime Minister of Britain, to impose sanctions on the state of Israel. The protesters aim to pressurize the upcoming government into taking some decisive action regarding the Israeli attacks in the Gaza Strip. The march is being organized by the Palestine Coalition, which includes members of the Palestine Solidarity Campaign. The Metropolitan Police has implemented conditions under the Public Order Act to manage the National March for Palestine. The police has now ordered for stipulated timings for the protests along with a dedicated route. The march will commence in the Russell Square in the afternoon and will proceed from Westminster to Whitehall and must conclude by 5:30 p.m. sharp. The deputy leader of the Palestine Solidarity Campaign, Peter Leary, stated that Andy Burnham must stand with the Palestinian cause. Furthermore, he added that for Burnham to break from Starmer's legacy, he must in fact impose sanctions on Israel, including an arms and a trade embargo. Last week, Burnham had acknowledged that his party had got it wrong and advocated for banning trade in goods with from illegal settlements. But despite this acknowledgement, it is to be noted that Burnham has refrained from accusing Israel of perpetrating a genocide of the Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip. Now, a delay by Keir Starmer's Labour government in demanding for an immediate ceasefire had drawn widespread criticism from within the party's base. This had contributed to a notable shift in young Labour voters to the Green Party. The pro-Palestine protesters aim to pressurize Andy Burnham even before he enters office to achieve a total blockade of war supplies to Israel from the United Kingdom.
I didn't even listen to that video.
What we do know is whether we are righteous or wicked, Mashiach will come. So it's not because we're wicked, and it's not if we'll be righteous either. Mashiach comes regardless because Mashiach is the purpose of everything, and therefore we're not strong enough to stop Mashiach.
We don't have to be righteous. Doesn't matter. We don't have to be wicked or righteous. That is besides the point. That's why we
he never was righteous.
Do everything. That's why we did what we did in Gaza, and we crushed them, the Hamas, and we crushed the Hezbollah, because Am Israel Chai. Oh! Shabbat Shalom!
So he caught his ass reading that Talmud.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Rabbi Chosi Iyov Show. We're going to go to the video. Make sure you grab your kosher popcorn.
At University of Phoenix, take one course at a time, because real life comes first.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything in life would have...
Is it our job, and should it be our personal focus to try and bring Mashiach? The truth is there's a Mashiach alive right now, a potential Mashiach. Every generation has its potential Mashiach, which means there's one person alive right now that God could and maybe will choose to be Mashiach.
What the fuck is he talking about? This ain't the fucking Avatar Last Airbender, nigga. That's what they trying to... I don't know. The Mashiach, or what are they talking about, the Messiah? Let me make sure. I mean, I know the Messiah, I mean... What is the Mashiach? Not Michelle. Mashiach. Man, they had it there, but the motherfucker didn't do shit. It just paused. Froze up. Fucking dumbass AI. Yeah, the anointed one, though, is a Hebrew word that translates literally to the anointed one. We Yahweh Shah. So the Lord ain't showing up again. These niggas talking about some making the Mashiach show up. What the fuck are these dumb niggas talking about? Shit. Niggas, these some dumb fucking crackers. That's why they're not the people.
See, there is...
Yeah, we waiting on the Lord. We don't try to make the Lord... I don't even know what the hell these niggas talking about.
Always Mashiach. It just keeps different Mashiach every 100 years. We have a different Mashiach. And you see in the background, he has the Kabbalah with the circles and the stars. Yeah, I don't advise you to study Kabbalah if you are, don't know how to do it, because when you get in touch with the other world, the upside down world, the demons, if you don't know how to behave, you might get possessed. A lot of Jewish people that do Kabbalah and
are possessed.
Things go wrong.
And then, yeah.
So you have to be careful, but that's what is behind him. The tree of life and knowledge, because we love knowledge. We're not supposed to eat from that tree, but we love to eat from that tree. So okay, back to the Mashiach.
He doesn't even know if he's the Mashiach. He could realize that he's a scholar, he could realize that he's a good man.
So the Mashiach doesn't even know he's the Mashiach. It could be me, guys.
No, fam. It's like some damn Avatar Last Airbender. Or it's like some Last Airbender shit. Who is that chosen one? What the fuck? Anyway.
It could be me.
See, they don't, well, I'm going to say Jeebus. But the Messiah, his name is Yahweh Shah. And they ain't damn sure going to bring up that name. And damn sure ain't going to say Jeebus. But they thinking that anybody could be the Messiah or the anointing one. I mean, yeah.
I would not do it. I wouldn't know it. Make sure you donate. I put the link, guys. Let's bring Mashiach. Come on, I need the... Yeah, it could be me, guys. Bring Mashiach. Mashiach is right here, maybe. Maybe.
Mashiach will only know his Mashiach when God decides for him to reveal himself, and he will let that person that's alive right now know, you're the Mashiach, and I want you to reveal yourself.
Oh, so Hashem will tell.
So they forcing the Mashiach. They're trying to, we know you the Mashiach. You have to reveal yourself as the Mashiach. You are the chosen with the anointing one. It don't work out that way. And it never will. Anyway.
The person or me, if I or that person is the Mashiach. I mean, it'd be nice if I was the Mashiach and all the goyim worship me. Oy vey.
In every generation there was, and in this generation there is, a potential Mashiach. Someone alive right now that could be that Mashiach that we've been waiting for.
Okay, it could be anybody. So Rebbe Schneerson is not the Mashiach. According to this rabbi, don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm sorry, Chabad. Rebbe Schneerson is dead. They waited for a long time and he never woke up, poor old man. Rebbe Schneerson. He was not the Mashiach. They thought he's the Mashiach. They took one-way ticket from Tel Aviv to New York. Stupid idiots. And then he died and they waited and they're like, yeah, but he didn't.
Alright, let me stop this shit. Anyway, these niggas, they're clearly, I mean, they're not going by what's in the Bible. They're not the people. Anyway.
Zero with an X.
Zero loves making it.
This is the CJ Brennan Show.
Hello, it's your friend CJ. And in this week's episode, we look at why Turkey is preparing for war against Israel. A war of Israel's choosing that will ultimately result only in the total destruction of...
But wait a minute. Like I said before, going back to Isaiah chapter 2 verse 4, what are they doing going to war? They were supposed to be preparing for war. Neither of these nations shall learn war anymore. But what are they doing? They're getting ready for them, get them swords sharpened up, get them swords lubed up and sharpened and all that stuff. Getting ready for war, which they're supposed to be, but hey, the chosen people, hey, anyway, you get what I'm trying to say. Shit.
The Zionist project forever. But first, please remember to like and subscribe to our show, while not forgetting to turn your notifications on so you never miss a single episode. Now let's get into it. It's been nearly 1 full year since we forewarned Israel had set itself on a path to war against Turkey over diverging and competing interests in Syria, where Ankara is providing diplomatic, financial and military support to the new Syrian government. While at the same time, Israel sponsors a Druze-led insurgency with the aim of breaking up the now unified Arab country into competing ethnic blocs, therefore putting in motion a 6-decade-long Zionist strategy of sowing chaos, division and bloodshed among neighboring countries in order to keep them weak, demoralized and divided.
After a brief reprieve in the Middle East following the devastating war between Israel and Iran, tensions are again rising, this time between Israel and Syria.
قصف يا شباب قصف جديد قصف جديد يا شباب قصف جديد مبنى هيئة الأركان خالص قصف جديد يا شباب قصف خذونا بسرعة بسرعة.
Israel launched strikes in retaliation to Syrian attacks on the minority Arab Druze and Christians in Syria.
Our regular viewers will remember that we predicted Israel would turn its attention to Turkey after it had first dragged the United States into a war against Iran. A prediction that's coming to fruition now, that the Zionist Crusader war against Iran has turned out to be a catastrophic failure, given Trump has rebuked Israel by choosing against toppling the Iranian government or dismantling its ballistic missile program. This is a total disaster for Israel, because from its perspective, any peace deal, negotiation, or even pause in fighting represents another nail in the coffin for the greater Israel project. because stealing and colonizing more Arab land will remain a distant fantasy if the Zionist army is unable to vanquish the two most powerful militaries in the region, meaning Iran, Turkey, or both, which is why Israel is suddenly obsessed with attacking Turkey.
I think that Turkey of Erdogan and Syria of Bashar are now far more concerning than Iran. The era of the Shiite empire of Iran, Assad, Syria, and Hezbollah is over. The new axis is the Muslim Brotherhood axis of Erdogan's Turkey, Syria, and Qatar. And it's better to get awake and to open your eyes now before it is too late.
ארדואן אדם מסוכן מאוד. טורקיה בהובלתו היא איום משמעותי מאוד על מדינת ישראל. אני קודם כל רוצה לומר לך ולאזרחי מדינת ישראל, אנחנו נערכים למול האיום הזה במגוון רחב של דברים.
Israeli leaders are banging the drums for war against Turkey for a few obvious reasons. Starting with a need to create a new enemy to replace Iran, a desire to dominate Syria and Lebanon, and to drive a wedge between the United States and its allies. If Israel wants a war with Turkey, then it's a war Israel will get, and it's a war it will sorely lose. Given the
it's going to end with nuclear destruction. And first off, they're not Israel, they're Amalek. They're showing you the Lord having war with Amalek. I'll go in. It was Exodus chapter 17, verse 16. For he said, because the Lord Yahweh have sworn that the Lord Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generations. And the Lord is really showing that, having all these nations turn against. Well, they always been against Amalek. Not Israel, but Amalek. But the Lord has really got them nations damn touching Amalek, killing Amalek, destroying Amalek. Yep. And that's just showing you the Lord having war with Amalek. Especially not just with like missiles and just war with weapons and swords, but war with information. It's true, yeah. We fucking Amalek's head up. Esau head up. We fucking all these heathens head up, especially when it comes to the scriptures and truth.
Zionist army is no match for the far superior,
and that's all through the spirit of Yahweh Shah,
Turkish armed forces, which are now, at this very moment, actively preparing for this increasingly probable conflict, one that will absolutely and totally destroy the state of Israel. But before we reveal how Turkey has the power and capability to end the Zionist state, it's important to first understand Israel's main objective here, which is to drive a wedge between the US and its allies so that the United States remains dependent on the Zionist state as a forward operating base for future military.
And then doing Turkey just now buying, United States trying to sell some shit to Turkey. Hell, sell some jets or something to Turkey. They were like desperate as hell. They were like, come on, please buy something from us. We broke as fuck. Fuck them damn small head people. Them niggas, they didn't like that shit. With Turkey or Trump's over there trying to butter up the president or the prime minister over there in Turkey. But they like shit. Whatever.
Operations in the Middle East. You see, what Israel fears more than anything else is to be abandoned by the US politically and militarily. But abandonment is exactly what's happening to Israel right now, as the US cuts the Zionist state adrift in a manner and speed that has caught the entire Middle East off guard and by surprise. The United States has not only kicked Israel and Netanyahu to the side of the road, but it's also reorganizing the entire region under the guidance of Trump's closest geopolitical friend, Turkey's President Recep Erdogan, as reported widely by the international media, and as stated by Trump himself, who made no secret of his personal feelings and sudden shift in US foreign policy objectives at last week's NATO summit.
There are a couple I don't like much. I like Erdogan. I'll tell you, I like President Erdogan. He rolled out the red carpet. He's terrific. He could have gone into the war. A lot of people saying, like with Bibi. I like Bibi. I think Bibi was a terrific wartime prime minister. But Bibi said rough things yesterday about Turkey and Erdogan. And I said, I spoke to him. I said, he could have gone into the war because he doesn't like Israel much. And he doesn't like Bibi much. And he didn't go because of me. And this is a military power. Millions of soldiers. Turkey's very strong. They have a lot of our best equipment.
Yeah, they're very strong, but why y'all niggas fucking with somebody who's just as strong too? Iran. They got a lot of missiles and drones, and they fucking you niggas up. I mean, I don't know officially what's going on with the United States doing. Talking about hellfire raining down on Iran. They blowing up citizens and shit. not on military bases or anything. But hell, y'all fucking with somebody. You fucking with another nation that's military is pretty beefed up. Because the Lord made them that way.
They're trying to get the F-35s. But
yeah,
he didn't go in. He wanted. He would go in. If it weren't for me, he would have gone in. And he would have been on the other side.
Notice how Trump referred to Netanyahu in the past tense, saying he was, not is, a great wartime leader. This is the US president saying out loud that Israel represents the past and Turkey the future of US foreign policy objectives. This is America.
I'm guessing them small headers, they gonna do something, pull off a false flag event. And I don't know what it gonna be like, bomb some shit, set up some shit, a bunch of things. It ain't just one thing they gonna set up. It's gonna be a chain, it's gonna be a black swan event like no other. Cyber attacks, blowing up buildings and shit. Cause I mean, they blew up 9/11, or 9/11. They blew up them Twin Towers. Shit, yeah, they can do more damage than that.
Announcing its divorce with Israel on live TV.
Even if the United States, these bitch ass niggas was so loyal to Amalek, they still down do some false flag shit. Cause these are devils you dealing with, bro.
A divorce predicated on the American public's growing hostility towards Israel and the United States' evolving strategic interests in the region, which now run diametrically opposed to the interests of Israel, therefore representing a fatal blow to the future survival of the Zionist state. Starting with the lifting of US sanctions against Turkey and the removal of Syria from the US government state sponsor of terrorism list, which means Turkish construction firms and defense contractors can start investing billions of dollars into the new Syrian state, therefore undermining and countering Israel's effort to weaken, destroy, or carve up the Arab country.
לוודא שטורקיה לא מתבססת בסוריה, ואם טורקיה, אני אמרתי בקבינט, אם טורקיה תרצה להקים בסיסים בסוריה, גם אנחנו נקים בסיסים בסוריה.
Even more alarming for Israel is the proposed sale of F-35 fighter jets to Turkey, a US fighter jet program widely considered to be the world's most sophisticated weapons platform. A sale that promises to reshape the balance of power in the Middle East. Because when the United States shares its major weapons platforms and systems with an ally, it means the US wants to make joint military engagements more conducive, therefore indicating the presence of shared military objectives. A move that has shocked and outraged Israel. A move that has left Netanyahu utterly humiliated, as he's left with no other option than to protest against the F-35 deal on cable TV instead of directly with the White House.
I'd like to say, because we're on the verge of the president's going to Turkey, look, Turkey is a great country, but it's governed by a man who calls openly for the annihilation of Israel. He occupies half of Cyprus, a NATO country. He's threatening Greece, another NATO country. And he talks openly about conquering Jerusalem. His foreign minister, his number two,
there you go with all that accusing shit.
Said that the Jewish state hasn't a place among humanity. Basically, it has to be wiped out. His interior minister, he looked and said...
But wait a minute. What y'all niggas doing to them tower head, them Allah Abba folk? Y'all wiping their asses out.
He looks forward to be the governor of Jerusalem. Well, for a regime infected by the Muslim Brotherhood, an extreme movement that hates America and chants death to America from that side of the spectrum, I don't think they should be given F-35s or the engines for their fighter jets, because that'll upset the power balance in the Middle East.
So they can't take, go to war. Yeah. And then another thing, those F-35s, when they have kill switches, you can control them things remotely if you needed to. I don't know, but whatever.
Which is ultimately guaranteed by Israeli air superiority and also by, I think, by America's posture in the Middle East.
This is Netanyahu trying desperately to win back the American support by scaremongering the American people with more lies and propaganda about Muslims, Islam, and the Muslim Brotherhood. But Americans have had enough, as illustrated in polls in recent statewide elections in which pro-Israel candidates are being trounced by their pro-Palestine rivals. Today, public support for the Zionist state is now a political career killer. The ongoing Israeli-led war against Iran, along with the genocide in Gaza, has finally led the American people and policymakers to come to a realization they should have come to decades ago. That the Zionist state is not a geopolitical asset. It's a strategic and economic liability that delivers the United States only economic pain, reputational damage, and humiliation in one failed war after another. With the Israeli-led war against Iran described as the greatest strategic blunder in US history, given it has effectively handed Tehran permanent control over the Strait of Hormuz, and with it, the fate of the US economy forever. It's for this reason among many that the country's top political leaders are now describing support for Israel as a strategic mistake.
For too long, American policy towards Israel operated under the assumption that the best thing Washington can do for Jerusalem is to blindly, to silently stand behind your government. without conditions, without demands, without consequences, even when we disagreed.
The logic is simple to follow. The Zionist state is proven to be an economic and geopolitical liability, whereas Turkey checks all of America's boxes. It's already a NATO ally, and by far the most powerful military in the region. And more importantly, Turkey's strategic interests in the Middle East now overlap with those of the United States.
The Iran war was a clear setback to Israel's regional plans. But as night follows day, the political establishment in Israel has turned its sights on Turkey. This is a clearest sign that even if Israel had achieved regime change in Tehran, the war would not have stopped. It would simply have moved onto a different stage. So now Turkey has become the latest existential threat to Israel. As if in unison, a chorus of Israeli politicians has raised the alarm about a new Sunni axis opening up, composed of Turkey, Syria and Qatar. This has not gone down well with Trump, who had little hesitation in laughing off the notion that his best friend, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, was an anti-Semitic dictator, as Netanyahu now claims. Erdogan is a great leader, a very strong person. Everything I've asked from him, he's done, Trump said. When Netanyahu said Israel's new security doctrine was to kill them first, Vance was even blunter. He said, "You're a country of 9 million people. You can't just kill your way out of solving every single national security problem." But Israel is as serious about setting on Turkey as it was about bombing Iran.
If a war breaks out between Turkey and Israel, the US will be forced to pick a side, and it will pick its NATO ally because America isn't completely stupid. It knows Israel is practically worthless and therefore easily disposable. And whereas Israel is
actually Amalek, Esau Amalek is worthless and disposable, and will be when you see the kingdom of the real Israel be established, and that be you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and speckled birds, Israelites that look like the heathens, be in that kingdom. We will be ruling over these niggas with absolute power.
A tiny strip of land defined by its lack of strategic depth and natural resources. Turkey, on the other hand, is a massive continent-bridging landmass with the second largest standing army in NATO and has total control over the Black Sea. And more importantly, Turkey controls the eastern Mediterranean naval lanes because its navy outguns the Israeli navy by orders of magnitude. With its new amphibious assault ships, its rapidly expanding submarine fleet and anti-ship cruiser missiles, Turkey could establish an absolute naval blockade of Israel. And were Turkey to cut off Israel's access to maritime trade, it will completely suffocate and starve the Zionist colony, given more than 90% of its supplies move by sea. To be clear, a Turkish naval blockade would paralyze and kill the Zionist state's fuel, food and supply chains within weeks. And adding to Israel's
Turkey is the strongest maritime force in the region.
90% of its supplies move. An absolute naval blockade of Israel. And were Turkey...
Oh, they can cut Israel off for naval, well, and they, I don't know, they probably cut them off. Well, no, not aerial. But when it comes to the water, yeah.
To cut off Israel's access to maritime trade, it will completely suffocate and starve the Zionist...
What is maritime trade? What is maritime? Maritime is a term. Maritime refers to anything connected with the sea, ocean, seafaring activities. So, yeah, shipping, navigation, oceanic commerce. Yeah.
Zionist colony, given more than 90% of its supplies move by sea. To be clear, a Turkish naval blockade would paralyze and kill the Zionist state's fuel, food and supply chains within weeks. And adding to Israel's woes is the fact that Turkey has become an absolute drone superpower in the age of drone warfare. Its drones are so sophisticated and powerful that they're able to kill enemy fighter jets in air-to-air combat.
It was during the Russian-Ukraine war in 2022, however, that Turkish drones entered the global spotlight. In the early months of the war, Ukrainian forces used them to strike Russian convoys, air defense systems and command posts. The success of these drones was now receiving international coverage and thus growing global awareness.
Turkish drone manufacturer Baykar that supplies Ukraine.
TB2 has proven itself to be an effective combat drone.
So effective, the Ukrainian forces are singing its praises, literally.
Bayraktar.
In an all-out conflict, Israel's much-vaunted Iron Dome and David Sling would face a logistical nightmare they were never built to handle, because Turkey possesses the capability to launch thousands of low-cost, highly sophisticated kamikaze drones alongside its unmanned combat aircraft, and in tandem with its domestic missile program. Turkey wouldn't just try to bypass the Iron Dome, they would saturate it. They would force Israel to deplete its wildly expensive, limited stockpile of interceptor missiles within the first 48 to 72 hours. And once the interceptors run dry, Israel's critical infrastructure, its power grids, its desalination plants, and its military air bases become completely defenseless. And Israel will have absolutely nobody to turn to. Certainly not the Americans, who won't risk throwing their powerful NATO ally and the entire NATO alliance under the bus to save a worthless Israel. And don't expect the Europeans to come to Israel's rescue either, given they have grown dependent on Turkey for their own security and defense needs. Western countries also know that Turkey has the industrial capacity, the manpower, and domestic military supply chains to wage a war of attrition for years, whereas Israel simply does not. The myth of Israeli invincibility is just that, a myth. It is a house of cards held up entirely by Western diplomatic cover and American taxpayer billions. But if Turkey ever decides that red lines have been crossed past the point of no return, its military will shatter that Zionist myth once and for all. And while we're on the topic of survival,
Anyway, that's it. That's it. Now these devils are being exposed of who they truly are, and the Lord's doing it. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whom's coming after the working of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders. And who that him be, Esau, Edom, so-called white man, but he ain't white, he's red, and he's a baby dick sucking, foreskin eating Jewish faggot nigga named Amalek. And the Lord is exposing these devils. And right now he at the end. I mean, this is his world is coming to an end, and it's almost over with. So the best thing you Israelites need to do is seek the Lord by seeking his prophets and take heed what it say, because this devil gonna come with great wrath. Because you know, when somebody's losing so much so fast, they about to go crash the fuck out. They about to lose it all. They about to go from America to anywhere else Edomites be. These niggas about to lose their damn mind. Amalek too, of course, because they Edomites as well. But they gonna lose their damn mind. And it's best for you to do is seek the Lord and pray the Lord have mercy and protect you through these crazy times. Yep. But like I said, seek the Lord by seeking his prophets and take heed what to say, and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua by praying Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, praising Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, worship Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, fearing Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, and repenting of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. To all the men out there pushing his truth and none but truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, keep on preaching, keep on teaching, keep your faith and trust on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, stay humble. And for you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Hold on, I skipped something. I think I did. Let me start over. You few sisters out there, stay humble and stay humble. Damn, I forgot how I say it. Anyway, you few sisters, stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Yeah, that's right. Peace and bless to the hopeful elect, and all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Shalom. Sorry, I had a brain fart like no other.